The chapters close.
Accipiter.
Yes, sir.
The mists around you begin to further dissipate, and now you are standing in an empty field in a dark-hued colored Barovia. The shit I said earlier about being unable to talk, we already said we were going to throw it out the window so you can actually say something before you make these decisions.
Went away with the mist.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
You and Esmeralda watched Rictavio leave the areas of Barovia. So, like, still on the edge, there's kind of still that shifting fog. But it's more of kind of like... It's less like a wall and more of a doorway that's surrounding Barovia. And you and Esmeralda are just standing in silence. You see a few other spirits also begin to move away and fade when they cross through that doorway.
All right. As we stand in silence, I guess, like, if she doesn't say anything for a beat, I'll look up at her and just, I guess it was Soon's will that it was me. Suppose that's destiny.
In that case, what does she have out for me? I'm just joking, Accipiter. Don't...
A little late for converts, isn't it?
I mean, ultimately, this is a good thing. Strahd is dead.
I just, I wish I could have done more for Barovia.
She smirks. It's funny, I'm thinking the exact same thing.
He'll, like, kind of wait another beat. He'll look up at her, maybe a touch teary-eyed for the first time, and just be like, I'm not ready to go.
Then don't go. I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying here. And I'm going to do what I can and help Barovia. And keep all the shadows away that I can from over here. Death works strangely here. And without Strahd keeping us all prisoners, maybe some of the good spirits can do something about it. And I'll tell you what, Accipiter, you are a very good spirit.
Well, thank you. Perhaps your party could use a +1.
I'll have your company for as long as you'll keep it.
I'll extend a hand to her.
She clasps yours.
There we go. Beauty.
Now, if we're going to be a team, we need a name, don't we?
Huh. I mean, I'm not the creative type.
That's fine. Let's go with Esmeralda and the Grumpy Paladin.
Some asshole spirit from off in the distance.
Got him!
Yeah, I suppose it's as good as any. So, what do we do now?
Do you have a deck of cards?
Do I? I don't think I do. What's actually in my inventory? Hold up. What do I bring with me to the afterlife?
You really only have the armor that was on you and your weapon.
Yeah. What about this broken silver music box?
Nah, it's not there.
Yeah, I'll just I'll be like, no, but I do have this excellent holy symbol.
She looks at it and says, nice.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's walk until we find something to do. How about that? And because I know I'll hear it eventually, why don't you tell me more about Soon?
What you see, she is the lady of light, love, and luck.
And then it fades to black.
Yeah.
The four of you arrive at Krezk after nightfall. It is dark, but the people of Krezk are still moving through the streets where a bonfire is burning in the center of the city where more fires are lit around it. What would you guys like to do? They do give you entrance. Right now, like, Krezk is kind of letting it flow freely.
Party.
Make our way.
Well,
yeah. I mean, Tiny's gonna make his way to the.
Well, I'm sure you're not pulling that cart by yourself.
The Abbey.
The Abbey.
Tiny could pull that cart by himself. Big, strong boy.
Yeah, with all those good strength checks I made today.
Let's not talk about those.
You're taking 10 on these ones. It's okay.
I'll catch up with Tiny, kind of keep pace with him. And as we're walking, I'll just be like, Tiny, do you think Etzipiter would want this? Are we being selfish?
Yes.
Yes, he'd want her. Yes, we're selfish.
Both.
Yes.
Both.
Has he managed to convert any of us? No, he wants to come back.
Xandra, how much do you know about faith in the afterlife, this kind of stuff?
I haven't done much thinking on it, to be honest.
Maybe you should ask someone here before we make our decision. See if this is something we can really force on him, or if he still gets a say. Because I think I want to give him that chance, but I'm as the dark as the rest of us. We don't really know how this works.
I agree with Cypher.
I agree with Cypher.
You both agree with Cypher?
I'm charming, what can I say?
I love him. No.
He is my favorite
Wait.
person.
Wait, wrong spell. Right now.
I think you're right. And I'm not exactly opposed to trying. I'd hate to think we were doing something that was akin to trapping his soul here, sort of like Irina. And that someday he would wake up and realize that he wasn't where he was supposed to be. I don't know.
Cypher walks right up to you as you're kind of befuddled talking and thinking about this, and he's giving you that deadpan eye, smirk on the face, and he says, if he doesn't want to be here, we've already pummeled him to death once. We can just do it again. And then he turns away and walks with the cart.
I guess I see your point. Do you...
As you guys are making your way up the hill towards the church, can you guys give me perception checks?
Yeah.
Sure.
How's it going, time roller? Genlin, you're the only one who sees it. You are confident that some of the one of the panes of the great glorious stained glass window on one of the sides, there's like panes of it running along the side, has been smashed open as if something came out of it.
Yee.
Do you guys see that?
When he points it out to you, you all see it.
The glass is broken from the inside.
That's disconcerting.
Very unsettling. Perhaps one of those mongrel
Dogs?
people. What was the name of the thing or person or whatever it was in the well?
Dude,
Did we say we had a...
Clyde.
Did we get a short rest on the way over here?
No, you've been moving.
Okay.
Um,
Are you sure we want to go tonight? Perhaps we should ask around and find out if the town knows what happened. This surely would have made a lot of noise.
I think we should just go. I think we need to get this done, and I don't think we should put it off anymore.
I am going to take out my staff on our way up.
the church grounds,
That's
the
fair.
abbey grounds are completely dark as well when you approach.
I mean,
Hey,
we
how-
were here during the day last time, so we don't know if it normally lit, I guess. But
Correct.
Heine, how can you be so sure about this? You spoke of reviving the minister and the children before, and I mean, I know Atsipiter is our friend, and the other two saved our lives. How can you be so sure?
Sure about...
All of this. You are the only one who believes this person is an angel and that this is actually going to happen, and how are you so certain about
I mean,
this being right, this being good?
Angel or not, he did promise us. Well,
And if-
promised Tiny 3 resurrections.
And I
I'm
mean,
not saying it's wrong. I'm just curious
Yeah.
how you're so sure.
because I know what I saw.
The gate to the courtyard is open, and it is still just dead quiet as it was outside, inside the court as well. The door to the area that the abbot was is closed.
Tiny just goes to it and knocks.
There's no response.
Tiny tries to open the door.
The door creaks open. The room is dark, and there is a faint light from an untreated, slowly burning out fire. You can vaguely see a silhouette of a woman slumped over in the chair lifelessly in front of the fire.
The bride.
Presumably. I'd say that's a safe assumption. Abbott? Abbott? I'm here.
There is no response.
Shall we?
I'm gonna walk up to the figure in the chair.
She is not moving or breathing at all.
Was she breathing before?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
She
Was
looks
it-
lifelike, except for the fact she's stitched
I-
together.
Can I do a medicine check on her?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, she's dead.
She's dead.
She's dead.
What killed her?
Do I know that?
No.
Love.
No idea.
Maybe
And there's
Xander was right.
no mongrel folk around at all?
No, none that you can see. But you
Shall
haven't looked
we-
in the well.
Are we prepared to enter into a dangerous
We haven't
strait?
looked in the well. We can look in the well.
It's not looking the fucking well.
I mean, it's the only logical step.
Wait,
Looking in the well.
Cypher was gonna say something about me being right, and I want to hear this.
We've traveled directly from leaving Strahd's castle to this
Here.
point. We've taken
Yes.
no breath. We've regained none of our strength. We barely made it out of the crypts. Do we really want to go into a place where people you know to have been alive are now dead? Is that wise?
I mean, she was kind of only half alive to her beginning.
She's questionable alive.
She was, yeah. She was
Even-
put together like
even but an hour to regain a bit of composure.
I suggest we set up camp in the courtyard, or just outside
I will stay here.
the abbey.
I feel it might be valuable to inquire in the town, at least as to what might have gone on. I don't think it's terrible to take a rest and set up camp perhaps here, but to at least send a couple people to go and ask.
Sure.
I do
Remember when
not
I said I
agree,
wasn't going to split the party?
But I'm going to stay here and
I will go with you.
I will go too.
Oh no,
We
somebody should
should
stay
not
here.
leave Tiny alone.
Tiny's good. He's okay.
I'll stay with Tiny then.
I think that's a fair split. We shouldn't be gone long.
Cypher and Xandra, when you guys get down, the town is still bustling and partying. Some barrels of wine are being passed around and poured into glasses. What would you guys like to do?
I want to just maybe find the nearest person who,
Sure.
and just be like, excuse me, do you know what happened up at the Abbey? Why the windows are broken and there's no one there?
Oh, it truly is a gift of the gods. When the mist of Strahd went away, an angel burst out of the abbey, flew over the city, and just flew west.
West. Well, that is amazing. I'm so happy for the miracle that this town has received.
The Sun Lord shines on us all. The Morning Lord, drink with us, party with us. This is a time of celebration. We are free.
Thank you for the offer. We have friends we have to be getting back to, though.
The man turns and just starts to drink.
Yeah, that's fair. He flew west, Cypher? How do we even explain that to Tiny and Genlin?
Wait, is
So
west back towards
To
Barovia?
clarify, Xandra, Tiny was going on about some sort of angel. Was that the person who made this promise to you all?
I think so. Yeah.
So where does this leave us?
High and dry, I think.
Wait. Was there any depth about the means by which he would bring you back? Was it a scroll by chance? I mean, he could leave behind that wasn't himself. If he's gone, is there still hope to look?
I mean, we can search, but if he truly was an angel, he's far more powerful than any one of us. And I mean, we could go west after him. We've got 10 days. Well, 9. I look up at the setting sun. Or darkness, because we're probably there by now.
Yeah, it's night.
Yeah.
Nearing
Gesture
midnight.
to the stars.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll give that a try.
All right, let's head back.
You guys get back?
By the way, Tiny 100% has looked in the well while they've been gone.
The well is empty. There is no
Okay, cool.
Mishka.
Just figured I'd check. Well, I mean,
Mishka! That was the name.
there could still be a Mishka. He might have also just left.
Yeah.
Guaranteed something happened.
Yeah, you guys get back up there. As you do, Tiny is looking in the well. And then he just turns to Galen and says, nothing.
Or maybe Mishka was a ruse to keep us from looking in the well.
Don't you dare look at our groundwater supply.
You filthy heathen.
Maybe he was
Filthy,
hiding
not
something there.
mongrels.
Maybe he was hiding something there.
Maybe they were brewing wine.
Ooh.
Ooh. But yes,
well of wine.
Cypher and Xandra approach.
I assume you've got like camp set up and some sort of like fire
Oh, yeah.
going. I'll just come and kind of sit down near the fire and stare into the flames, vaguely melancholy.
Excuse me. So, what did you find?
Well, I believe you that he was an angel.
Thank you.
But he's not here.
Where is he?
West was the best we got. Apparently he flew west.
Well, then in the morning I shall also not fly, but go west.
I'm gonna go look around inside.
The building, there's a building to the north. It smells like fucking shit when you get in there. Like, people have been pooping on the walls, eating scraps of rotten meat in here. The rooms that you like, there's 4 rooms on each side, and they just smell atrocious. You do notice that a door to the north has been kicked open, which leads out into a garden, as well as some stacks of just like there's footprints that lead out towards a hole in the northern, the eastern wall of the Abbey grounds.
Okay, I guess what would guide my search, I'm kind of looking for anything that might be like a personal study of whoever they're talking about, where I might be able to peruse their things and find anything they could have left behind. That's kind of what I'm looking into.
There is the room that the dead woman is in. There's not much here, but that seems to be the closest. This is where the abbot was probably living. He has a small chamber, but there's nothing in it of note.
Okay, so yeah, I would just go over that small chambers and see any scrolls, anything magical.
No,
Yeah.
nothing.
Alright. Just head back then.
Does the party just sleep until morning?
Yeah. I mean, I think Galen needs a rest.
All right.
Yeah, I think
Xander?
I'll just sleep.
Yeah. Cypher, you sleep?
Yeah.
Tiny, you sleep?
Oh, yeah.
All right. You guys fully heal. Dawn comes and you wake up to sunlight, as we all did in the days when we didn't have blackout curtains. It's a beautiful morning, and you are woken up by a clear sky above you and sun.
Wow. It's been a bit.
Certainly is beautiful. Well, shall we follow the angel? Go
That's,
west, young man.
I mean, it's what I plan on doing.
Couldn't we just pray for the angel to come back? Isn't that how this works? All of this works?
Yeah.
What god did it serve? Did it ever talk?
Heathens, no!
I feel like Exhibitor is talking.
We pray to this god, we get it to come back. It owes us, doesn't it? That's what you struck a bargain. Are they not creatures of their words?
Well, I mean, he's either an angel or he is literally the sun god himself. But let's not get into that since you only just started believing me about the whole angel thing.
I'm not
He's
confident if we prayed to him specifically, he would hear us, let alone answer us.
I mean, I would imagine that. Excuse me, the strong coffee this morning. I would imagine that someone such as him would be bound to keep their word.
I don't think you're wrong.
Especially since if he was trapped here and we basically helped release him from his imprisonment.
His centuries-long imprisonment.
I don't think you're wrong, but I think we would need to find a way to get a hold of him.
Hey, is there a raven there?
There is a raven perched on the abbey roof.
Is it?
I'm gonna wave and go, "Hi, Erwin."
Is it Erwin?
The raven flies.
I'm just pretending.
Flies south towards the winery.
Wizard. The wizard speaks. We should probably follow the raven.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
We're giving up on this angel.
No, but no, we're not giving up, but we have 9 days. But I feel like that's probably important.
Where are we on the map of the limits of Barovia? How close are we to where the wall would have been, where we could not have left?
Oh, you're right next to it.
Yeah, we're like right
I
on the
think
edge.
if I were an angel trapped in this land, the moment the curse was lifted, I'd go to that limit and just rest at that spot, knowing my safety. If the grip were to tighten again, that they would be free. We could check just a little bit more west, just to make sure while we're here.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it's not far. But I think after that we go to the winery.
Of course.
Think of nothing else. It is our duty to. I look to Tiny and Genlin specifically. Make amends for
Yes.
what we've done.
Yes.
Yeah.
And promise to never come back. Gotcha.
Shall we then?
Tiny starts packing.
You guys are easily able to move to the west, where a fog wall that was once there is no more. Searching the area, though, through the trees and through the mountains that are to the north, you can find no sign of the abbot.
Tiny is gonna get on his knees and awkwardly as fuck start praying.
If you're doing that, Cypher's no joke gonna just come and try to join you in whatever way he thinks is helpful.
Tiny doesn't know what he's doing either, so it's fine.
He's like, "Oh, angel, you made a promise, bro."
You know, a Sipper, you got them praying at least.
No, not me.
Yeah, well, you have an infernal contract you've signed.
Pray, man. I don't care about the deity. Just pray.
Nothing comes from the prayer immediately that you can sense.
And then, I'll close it with, "We're going to the winery. You're gonna make good. Meet us there."
Tiny repeats that as well, just
Yeah.
in case he was only listening for me.
As
That's if
they
you say amen.
Amen.
Aw, man.
Ah, man!
as they kind of finish out their prayers, I'll walk over and put a hand on each shoulder. Very nice, gentlemen. Very nice.
And Sibiter would be proud.
I mean, we weren't praying to his god, would he? Would he be proud?
I mean, it's a god.
Yes.
And he was always proud of progress.
You guys, after that, are easily able to get to the winery, where you see a lot of the Markov family are loading up a wagon.
Oh.
When they approach, Erwin smiles a big, toothy smile that nearly pulls his beard off of his face. It's so big. And he says, "You bastards did it!"
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did by some miracle.
Emotionally drained, but yes.
I'm not surprised. You all deserve a rest and, honestly, an escape from this place. Albeit, it's much nicer to spread your wings and fly when there's no heavy mist in the air. I wanted to thank all of you. Thank you for what you have done for Barovia. And he looks at the card and says, "And the sacrifices that were made."
Erwin, you haven't happened to come across... I'll look at Tiny like, I can't believe I'm going to say this. An angel in your flights, have you? Perhaps in the west?
When the mist fell, some of the other ravens in the family saw this angel. There is no other word for it. It's not as ridiculous as it sounds, flying away from Barovia.
Do you know where?
Where we might find him?
Honestly, I'd wager, like most people now, as you can see, and probably have seen some people celebrating and getting ready to go, they were just looking to get out of here.
Geographically, what's west of Barovia? I haven't looked at a map in a long time.
Oh, dang, I have no effing idea.
Good question.
Wait, Justin, would it by chance be the strange land of Icewind Dale?
Let's find out.
No, Icewind north, east.
It's time to go into the next campaign, guys.
With dead bodies, just hoping we eventually find the angel.
And these
Barovia
same
on the world
characters.
map.
Would there happen to be a temple to the sun god anywhere nearby?
Yes, there's one in Kresik and another one in the village of Barovia.
That's not helpful.
Not helpful.
I believe I put it close to Ereberon in our original back at episode 1. Lucianara, thank you so much for the raid. Yes, I unfortunately cannot help you further. With that, I imagine if he's gone, he's not going to be found.
Cypher strides up to Erwin and puts his hand on his shoulder and says, "It's okay. You've helped me with so much. I couldn't have made it this far without your help, friend."
I'll kind of like poke a head in the distance over your shoulder. All of us.
Yes, I hope, he says to the other three first, I hope you understand the necessary steps I had to take when you came with that news.
We understand.
Luckily, the Mardukov family, we are moving into Vallaki and we are going to expose the Wachter family. And we have decided we're going to push to become the Burgomeisters of Vallaki. Genie Bro, thanks for the follow. And
I
Cypher.
think that
That's
will be
great
our
news.
flips.
And Cypher, yes. I've known you for a long time, and just I have more to thank than there are hours in the day.
Well, we haven't much time to spare now. We've only got 9 days to find a way to bring our friends back, if we can.
Well, I wish you luck.
Thank you.
After a few hours, the Mardukov family ride into the town of Valaki and attempt to expose Fiona Wachter for what she does. What does the party do?
Excellent question.
Very excellent question. I can't find Barovia on the Faerun map.
I think actually Barovia is in its own plane.
Pocket.
Is it in its own plane?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It can be slotted in anywhere.
Xandra turns to Tiny and puts her hands on his arms and looks him dead in the eye and says, "Friend, what do you want to do?"
Tiny just shakes his head.
Ooh.
I know what I want to do.
What?
Let's go down to where we fought that bloody great tree. Where the sun sword was. We're not far from it. I have an idea. It's worth a shot. Unless anyone else has anything better, I kind of want to give it a try.
I mean, I have a long-term thing.
Like
What's your
long-term
idea?
goals for what to do with the rest of your life, or
Well, I mean, for the before the 10 days are up, long
What do you
term. You go back to one of the churches of the sun god and try and restore it and bring back faith. Maybe that would help bring it
the
back.
other one's in this town of Barovia, right?
The village
Yeah.
of Barovia, yes, yeah.
Yeah, so that one theoretically isn't destroyed.
Yeah,
It
it
was in
was.
a very
Oh.
bad state. That's the one where the
Okay.
minister's son was a vampire below.
Yes.
Yeah. So that also could be sort of maybe a last, well, not last resort, but sort of. It would take a few days to do, so maybe it's not the first thing we try. But if
We
we brought back a
also-
little bit of faith, it might be able to bring back the god faster.
Nothing against faith.
Nothing against
I mean,
faith.
we
I mean,
also,
I can't pray there, but that's just because.
That's more of a
long story.
personal thing.
Not really personal, out of my control.
We also could just travel west, inquiring to people we meet.
Yep.
It's as good a idea as I had. Mine was to, keep praying, basically. Put Accipiter's body out with the others. Declare in those prayers, these are the people we want you to save. You don't have to come back, just bring them back. That's my thoughts.
There's no harm in trying, I suppose.
But we can do that at a temple if you want to restore it.
I want to confirm that if we do this after the 9 days are up, we'll lay this all to rest,
Yeah.
lay them to rest.
Yeah.
right, then I'm on board. Come on, let's go pray.
Okay, I think that might be it. After 10 days, there's no response. And even searching for the abbot finds nothing.
All right.
We're gonna have a funeral for a Sipiter?
Hopefully all three of them.
Yeah, I think that would be fair. All three of them.
Four of them? Sorry, four?
In a mass grave, pile the bodies up, dig one hole.
Yeah, no, Cypher's like, yeah, sorry, all four, he has the goop still in his hands.
I mean, maybe I would...
I brought it with
Genlin
us.
would want to build some sort of grand burial for them.
Pyre?
Well, no, not burn them.
Oh.
No, like, I mean, as much as Genlin likes fire and likes that idea actually now, but no. No, like some sort of grand, like at the church, whatever church we're at, that we helping restore, some sort of grand statue or thing where they're buried underneath. Heroes of Barovia, something like that on them.
Yeah.
That's very possible. In the village of Barovia, you learned that, well, if that's the church you guys want to restore, you are eventually able to... The minister, whose son got turned into a vampire, he eventually heads towards Krezk after seeing the son and how his son hasn't been saved, just accepts the fact that his son is gone. And you guys are able to take over the church. His son did die in the sunlight, so you don't have to worry about that. Irina's brother pledged to follow in his father's footsteps and become the burgomeister of the village of Barovia, and is adamant about turning it around. You guys are able to seek funds with your own money, further plundering the castle Ravenloft to build the monument that you see fit for all those who died saving Barovia.
Cool.
So my last question for each of you is, what's next for your character? After you guys are able to lay a Sipiter, and then also, importantly but less importantly, Esmeralda and Rictavio to rest, what are your guys'... What's next for your character?
I can go first if people need time to think.
Yeah.
So Cypher travels with his now completed book, where the story, the classic children's fairy tale of the hero's journey without a storybook ending. He finally finishes it, and to summarize, the ending kind of encaptures what that final battle was for Cypher, where he ended up falling. The hero he thought he was the whole time, he fell. But his friends that he had gathered along the way were able to do what he couldn't and save him in the end. And as he publishes this book and gets it spread across the land, he decides in memory to change the hero's name to Accipiter as almost a kind farewell and a wish that in the end Accipiter did come back. And he just lives out his days trying to do good where he can.
That's great. It'd be really funny if one of you guys was like, I went into a dungeon and was killed by a dragon.
In memory of Accipiter, for
in memory of
Dragonborn.
Accipiter, we died.
Who wants to go next if they know? If you don't know, that's also okay. I'm not going to force you to come up with an ending for your character. But if you want to give...
Accipiter, what happens?
I have one question.
We'll worry about that. I have a story beat for him.
I have one question. Did Barovia have an inn, right? It didn't have an inn.
It did have an inn, yes.
It did?
Yeah.
Okay.
But if you wanted to have an inn there, you could.
Yeah.
Tiny stays in Barovia. He goes to Vallaki and starts working at the inn, helping rebuild it, because he can make trees grow really fast, so get a lot of wood really quickly. And he just stays there for however many 100 years he lives. And since he's so near the forest, he can at any time go back to the Fae. Now that it's not locked in, he can go back between Barovia and the Fae as he wills.
Nice. Xandra or Genlin, do you know yet?
You need more time?
No, I think I know. Xandra would spend a few months around the village of Barovia, around Vallaki, kind of just being around the other two that had decided to stay. And she would visit the memorial of Accipiter and all those who died, and just kind of speak to the lost souls, kind of in a sense of having trouble letting go. But after a while would decide that Accipiter would want her to move on. And she would continue searching for her mother and her sister. And along the way would just simply, in kind of the same vein as Cypher, try to do good wherever she goes. The best of her chaotic neutral ability.
The paladins always win. That's the rule. Here's the rule of paladins. They usually die, and they usually always win. Genlin, what about you?
I think he would stay in the village of Barovia, and open up a magic shop.
Oh, do you sell Blinsky toys in there?
Yes. Oh yeah.
Fuck yeah.
I love it.
Blinsky toys and potions and
I love it.
And magic items for magic users, because there was very little of that in Barovia as a whole before.
And really shitty flash paper for the kids to make it look like they're casting spells.
And of course there's a bar, and we also sell wine from.
The winery. Of note as well, the Mardikovs do come to those who are still of you guys still in Barovia at a certain point and attempt to see if you guys would be willing to push into Berez to get the gem there and get Baba Lusaga out of there. If you guys come or not, they are successful in their mission.
In a heartbeat.
Yeah, if I'm still around, absolutely.
If I'm around, I'm not sure how quick that would happen.
And lastly, those who stay in Barovia, especially Tiny and Genlin, less so for Xandra and Cypher, though they do hear these stories. They never see it themselves, but you guys hear travelers coming through of people seeing spirits on the road guiding them. Most notably, a woman with a metal leg and a dragon in glorious armor. And they just keep them safe on their passage through Barovia.
Aww.
And with
for
that,
5 years. For 5 years only.
Yeah, and then they fucking peace. And that is Castle Strahd. For everyone on YouTube and also everyone here, in a few days and right now on Twitch, we're going to be doing a campaign retrospective for the last hour of this stream. So we will see you guys there, and I'm going to talk about what was probably the hardest decision I've ever had to make as a DM. And we're going to talk about that right away. Bye.
Okay, Chris Martin.